So Kenny, after the opening day victory against Luton, you said there were certain improvements needed to be made still. Are you seeing those improvements 6 games in?
Yeah, I do think we've improved. We needed to in terms of our possession, knowing what we were doing, being coordinated, putting the right passing moves together and building up the pitch. And we've slowly improved. I do feel we've set a good standard in terms of competition. We've been in every game, we've defended well, physically we've closed down and competed very well, and those standards have been there and they need to be there right the way through if you're going to be successful. But on top of that, we've looked for at the right time some more creative football, I think, and in doing so providing the forwards and the front part of the pitch with the right amount of chances and clear-cut chances. That's what quality possession brings you, and that's what we've tried to work on. So some gradual improvement, but that goes out the window now. You're only as good as your next game. Yeah. We have to take the confidence of obviously the run, take the optimism of it, and it should give the players confidence of what they've done so far. But really, the most important thing is looking forward now, and look forward to a Shrewsbury side who've had a great year last year. Quite a number of changes, but I do feel. You can't underestimate Shrewsbury at all. They have some good players, very good players. They have a good squad, and when it settles down, they'll be fine and they'll be okay as well. And so, for us, it's a game that we have to make sure we're right, and we will have to be to earn anything. Any point out of Saturday, we'll have to be right. We'll have to be at our very top of our game.
Given the start you've had, is it important to guard against complacency creeping in?
I don't think it's something that we have talked about. Too much complacency, but actually keeping up the standards is more a way of that I would want to bring that, whether it's in training, the training with a larger group this year, admittedly less injuries so far and it's early in the season, but a larger group this year. The standards in training have naturally risen because there's more competition, more senior players. And so that's reflected in the games and the competition in the games. But setting standards is a big thing, and the players have set good standards so far and have a hunger to improve, and those two things are vital. And we go into Saturday's game making sure that we have to keep to our standards, we have to keep to our very, very high standards, and we'll have to work hard to do that.
You've got to get on with it, but is it an irritant to lose Ronan Curtis the way you've lost him?
Maybe, and but we knew that he's still unbelievably eligible for the Irish under-21 squad, and it's a proud time for him to play for his country as well. He has 2 qualifiers, Kosovo, and then next Tuesday Germany at home. So they're big games for him. He would obviously like to keep playing in our games and be involved in both, but it's the international window. It is what it is, and we wish him all the best for those games. And most importantly, we want him to come back to us in the middle of next week with no injuries. You have to cater for losing people. That's part of it. For whatever the reason, whether it be injury, suspension, or in this case internationals, it's really best to focus on the players that are playing, and we have good players playing, and we have a good group.
It's great because you have got some great alternatives,
and we need those. And for Ronan, he's made a good start to the season for whatever reason. Now, as I said, the focus can't be on him this weekend. The focus always is towards the players that are playing.
What about your injured trio? How are they going?
Yeah, Hawkins is good and should be okay for the weekend, which is a bonus for us. In terms of Watmore and Walks, still the estimate of an original date of 2 to 3 weeks, which will obviously put them out for this weekend.
Given your squad, that was a useful fixture to play on Tuesday in the Chequer Trade.
Yes, it was. We were pleased, and we started off quite rusty really, but we understand both sides have made a lot of changes, but by the end it was an emphatic win and a well-deserved win, and I was pleased anyway, very pleased with the team, the character that they showed overcoming a little bit of a rusty start, showed good character, and by the end as well I thought played some very good football and constructive going forward and created good chances. So for us anyway, it was a good game. In every competition we want to do well. The early stages of it and the group stages are much talked about, but obviously with the big carrot of a Wembley appearance later on is something that we would like to do well in.
Do you ever foresee that you will have a fully fledged reserve team in the future?
We'll see. At the moment we're operating on 2 groups, a first team group and an under-18 group. Getting a middle group isn't as easy as that. You have to really build up towards that. You do need the correct amount of players, obviously, and it's very easy to take players on, but players that are potentially good enough to play for Portsmouth, and that's different. And also, as well as that, your training ground has to be able to cope with it. Pitches are a big thing. We're ground staff work very hard, but we're short on pitches, and short on changing rooms. So really, to expand to 3 groups, we would have to make sure that the club is ready to do that. Otherwise, there is no point in doing it.
Now, this time last year you had 8 points and you'd won 2 games. This time round you won 5 and got 16. That's progress for you.
It is progress. We feel we're a stronger squad, but it's one thing saying it and another doing it. And so far the standards of the players have been pretty good, and we're looking for always constant improvement. But really, for me, it's looking forward now. Don't look back. The players and in particular the crowd will be optimistic because of what's happened so far, and that's good. But really, we have to look forward, and then we have to earn every point we get. We can't be looking back and patting ourselves on the back. We have to look forward to the next challenge, and Shrewsbury will be a big challenge. And as I said, if you're looking at those and the changes that they've had, when they do settle down, they'll be a force to be reckoned with, Shrewsbury, and I do think they'll be fine. So for us, it's a game we have to really work hard at and make sure that we earn every point that we get.